That's
Congressman.
That's one hell of an intro.
What a day. What a day. We thought we'd be talking about Kash Patel, and then over the top, President Trump just delivers Dan Bongino. I know you know these men very well. I know that as a combat veteran, as somebody who's served your country, as somebody who cares so very much about law enforcement, this has got to be one of the single greatest updates for you. And obviously, one final note, as somebody who cares about oversight for these agencies and who's hit brick walls, you've got to be a happy man this morning.
Well, you nailed it. You nailed it. The hunted has become the hunter. As my dad would always say, it's all good and fun until the rabbit got the gun. And now we are the rabbit, and now we have the gun. And you know what I love about Kash and what I love about Dan is like they have this intensity. They have this Homelander, I'm going to light you on fire look in their eyes all day, every day. That's exactly what this country needs to get us back on track. These are very serious people. These are very serious men that love this country, that want to get to the root of the problem to keep every single American safe. And you can hear it in their soul and their fiber and their being. And I know that feeling because that's how I feel about my country. I have chills right now watching all those clips because like this is the kind of serious men that we need to lead this country, that kind of toxic masculinity that we need back in our country to ensure that we have peace for the future, not just for our great nation, but for our allies. This is how you get peace through strength with strong men just like this. I am here for it. I know these men. I know their character. Their heart's in the right place. They want to deliver for the American people. They are turning away so much money. They could be doing so many other things, and yet they are choosing to serve this great nation again. The clip that you showed, I hope everybody watches this and watches their eyes. They love this nation, and they want to serve her again. And I'm here for it, brother.
It's amazing. Watch their eyes. Here we go. Let's go ahead. Here's the last the last thing you see before getting deported to the Epstein Island prison camp.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That's there good. It is. The FAFO. So what would you like to see in the FO, Congressman? What would you like to see them go after first? It's quite a target-rich environment, as they would say.
So people need to go to jail for this. Some of the acts that we've seen have been flat out treasonous. This is in our Constitution. And for decades, nobody was punished for the ill will for what they've done to this country. But I think we have a 4-year opportunity to really set the record straight as to how we were supposed to operate as a country when we have treasonous actors in our midst. So I am not saying that we should have a witch hunt. I think we need to go find the facts. I think we need to go find the crime. And then we go find the people that are responsible for the crime. And I think the American public is going to be very surprised. Hell, we won't be surprised because we've been talking about this for years. But the American public is going to be very surprised to see who is behind a lot of the tomfoolery that's been going on in our country. And as soon as those large dominoes start to fall, that's how you start to straighten this whole thing up and drain the swamp and get back to normal. You break the law, you go to jail. If you're treasonous, you go to jail. That's how people stop going to jail because it serves as a deterrent. But for decades, we've done nothing. And these people have used our country, used our name, used your taxpayers, paid people off for decades. It's over. It's over. And now I understand why, and people should understand why. This is why they tried to kill our president, because the day of reckoning was coming. This is what they were fearing. And he is going to go after every single one of these people that have ill will toward our country and are trading on the name of the United States of America.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Why don't we pop up, Klein? Let's pop up that assassination image one more time. Let's go back to here because we don't talk about this enough.
Unbelievable.
We know nothing, Congressman. We know nothing. Now I know that the president obviously is quite motivated to figure out who put a bullet through his ear, and I know that Dan Bongino has gone up and testified before congressional committees about this.
Yes,
and that this is obviously going to be a large motivating factor in his work at the FBI because somebody was able to get 8 shots off on the biggest footprint in the entire world, the President of the United States, the most powerful and famous man walking the earth today.
Famous man on earth. Yeah.
So what the hell? Like, why we found nothing out about this? Would you ask Kash Patel and Bongino look into it?
They're going to look into this. I don't have to ask them to do it. They already know what time it is. And you articulated it very, very well, Benny. We know exactly what happened here. The reason why we ever heard anything about it is because the deep state doesn't want us to hear anything about it. It is just that simple. We have Elon Musk that's putting people in space for sport. This dude is launching rockets into the atmosphere and then returning them and catching them like chopsticks. And you mean to tell me that we can't figure out who tried to shoot at our president? We already know. We're not that stupid. And now it's an issue of having transparency with the American public and letting us know what's really going on. And once you expose these people, that's when it all stops. And at the end of the day, Benny, I want people to go to jail, but more importantly, I want this to just stop. I want all the craziness to stop. And one day I was flying with President Trump out to California, and that's the last time I saw Kash, actually, was in California at Coachella when I spoke before President Trump. And I remember him sitting on the plane and him being like, Wesley, revenge is not really my thing. I think that my success will be my revenge. And while I like that, I do still want to see some people go to jail.
That's right. You made a lot of news your last time on the program, Congressman, by saying that these people that went after President Trump had better prepare because you will go to jail if you defy Congress and congressional subpoenas.
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the last time that anyone saw Joe Biden was in Congress when Donald Trump was taking his oath of office. And nobody's seen him since. Dan Bongino wrote the book on Biden crimes.
Yeah.
Joe Biden didn't pardon himself. Can we expect with a Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Department of Justice, that maybe the Biden crime family and the way that they strip mined our federal government and used it to enrich themselves, that maybe there'll be an actual, real, legitimate investigation into Joe Biden?
I've had a lot of thoughts on this, and again, I'm just speaking for Congressman Wesley Hunt. These are kind of my thoughts.
Please.
If you look at the blanket pardons that he gave to everyone that was close to him, I think that was almost tantamount to him pardoning himself. Because if you look at the way he pardoned his family, his son, his brother, the people that had the direct interaction with all the crime, it's going to be very hard to get to the crime boss if he has insulated himself from direct contact with actual criminal action and behavior. That's kind of my thoughts. Like, I watch Soprano, right? Like Tony never interacted directly with people. He always sent it to Sylvia or other people. So I think that was kind of his strategy to inoculate himself from any further persecution. But I don't know. That's gonna be up to Dan. And if anybody's going to figure it out, if you saw those eyes, we're all going to find out.
Okay. Adam Schiff, your former colleague in the House, still currently in Congress.
What a winner, right? What a real winner.
Bongino saying, yo, I'm not letting this go. Here was Adam Schiff outside of the FBI building. And it's amazing this didn't work, Congressman. It's amazing that this didn't. This is what the Democrat Party is reduced to when you cut all the USAID funding. It's like the wizards, right? Standing in front, like, we demand to be taken seriously. And this is like Arrested Development. But Adam Schiff standing there, and is 2-for-1 LL Bean advertisement, and he's saying like, listen, I'm really scared. Should he be scared?
He should be terrified. He should be terrified. And he should be terrified from the standpoint of he had secret information that he knew about, and that he released secret information to the press. We got you. We know you've already been to that one small thing. That's just the tip of the iceberg to the collusion that we saw with him and other people in his party and the media and this whole Russian hoax. We know this, and that's not even new news to anybody. So if we could start with that, that is worth investigating. Imagine what else we're going to find. He better watch out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like saying that you've seen direct evidence that the president is a Russian agent.
Yes,
when you have a security clearance.
Yes. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, these are obviously you're not allowed to do that. No. You can't just go and do that. That's a total and complete abuse of the clearance. It's an abuse of your office.
Yes, and as somebody like me that had a top secret clearance, I watched a lot of things that happened. I watched a lot of things that happened in Congress, actually, and I shake my head because that's not how you're supposed to behave, generally speaking, especially when we have a TSSCI and any kind of clearance at that level, at our level. But what he did was flat out egregious. Again, we're teetering here. We're talking about treason. I mean, these are very serious accusations and very serious crimes against our country, and you should pay for this kind of stuff. This is not a routine traffic stop here. Okay, this is not like a minor breaking and entering. I mean, these people are trading on the name of the United States of America and enriching themselves and trading our secrets with other nations and lying to the American people about information that they are privy to. This is wrong, and it's got to stop.
Finally, Congressman Barack Obama, man, it seems like Dan Bongino, you go through sort of his catalog and you look at where he and Cash have both sort of pointed the vector of power for the modern day deep state, it would be Barack Obama, who fused the Democrat Party with the intel agencies. Suddenly, all of the left-wing protesters were out protesting in favor of the CIA, right? It's like they're in favor of USAID. It's incredible to see what's happened since the 1960s.
Yeah, remarkable.
Yeah. The man who reoriented all of it was Barack Obama. And there does seem like there's quite a bit of meat on that bone. Are we going to see some norm-breaking stuff here, right? Where former presidents might get put in the chair.
That's probably a tough call, if I'm being honest with you, to put a former president in prison. I mean, there's presidential immunity for a reason. This is not a banana republic, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In many ways, we talk about witch hunts and how this country operates, and with no one being above the law, but going after the president and locking the president, it's going to be really tough. I'm going to be honest with you. It's just really hard to do. Now, can we expose the crimes? Yes. Can we have some transparency with the American people? Sure. Can we besmirch a reputation that deserves it? Of course we can. Of course we can. And we absolutely very well should. And then this should be a shot across the bow to all people and all future presidents that think that they're going to get off scot-free by selling out our nation. But the idea of us retroactively locking up our presidents, you ran a clip before about Dan talking about this being a banana republic where you're going beyond a banana republic. We got to be careful with how we do that, period. Yep. Because if we do that for one person, then guess what? They're going to lock up President Trump. And I don't want to see that happen either when they get in power. However, do I want to expose them for their crimes, expose them for who they are? Of course I do.
I just have to ask a follow-up on that one, Congressman. As a curveball, Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein. What's going to happen with that list, man? Now, is this going to be your exception?
You bring up a very good point. That absolutely. There's always exceptions to every rule. There's always exceptions to every policy. Now, I have 2 little ones at my house, 3 little ones at my house. If we're talking about child trafficking, if we're talking about the kind of issues that was going on at Epstein Island, well, those people, I hope they die and I hope they burn in hell. That's a whole nother conversation, that if that kind of detail gets exposed by some of these people, the presidency cannot save you from pedophilia. The presidency cannot save you from that kind of lewd behavior. So you're right. I draw a line there. I am just speaking high level about us retroactively putting presidents in jail. That's not something that we tend to do as a country. It's what they tried to do to President Trump. But if there are crimes that are certainly egregious enough, I'm open to it. And there's always exceptions to those rules.
Oh man, I mean, we were interviewing Pam Bondi and Cash this weekend. They said prepare. Pam Bondi told us the Epstein list is on her desk right now. She's going through it, and there's more documents than you can possibly imagine. And
the Epstein list, you could prove that kind of nefarious activity. From what I heard that went on down there, we're having a whole different conversation.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Diddy, man, bad days for these guys.
Bad days for them, great days
Barack
for
Obama's buddy, Diddy. Remember, it's Diddy. They did a bunch of content together, old content from like 2012. Diddy and Obama, it's so fun.
I remember that.
Ooh, man. Gotta be cooking. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be cooking with Congressman Wesley Hunt. Go follow the Congressman on his X profile right here. 320,000 Americans. The congressman well on his way to 1 million subs. Let's go. We want every single one who's on this show fighting the good fight to have as much power as possible.
Thank you,
go in and follow the great congressman from Texas, Wesley.
Of course.
See you, Congressman.
God bless you, man. Thank you for having me on.
Bless you.